Hello and welcome to today's Learn to Trade webinar. We're going to be looking at how to find the best traders to copy on eToro. As you, I'm sure, are aware, eToro is a social trading platform, which means, put simply, you can copy the trades of other customers of eToro. That's assuming that they have not set their accounts to private, which you can do. So let's get to it. Click on Copy People and it'll bring you to this landing page where you have a snapshot of some reasonably successful traders you might be interested in copying. So editor's choice at the top. You see CPH equities on 75% return over the past 12 months. A number of people copying has gone up 18% in the last 7 days. So he's doing something right. That's Christian Kongstead. A popular investor from Denmark. Ed Butler from the UK, long-term fundamental value investor. So just hovering over these cards and it brings up some details about each of the traders. Anna from Germany, and her goal is to preserve capital while maximizing profits, which is a laudable goal. And you see some more persons to copy. Most copied: trending, long-term stock investors, long-short investors, multi-strategy investors, and so forth. And at the very top, you have the filter. If you just click on where it says filter, it brings up all of the criteria you can use to filter by. And you can go to look for people from anywhere in the world, virtually, given that eToro has about 140, I think, countries it operates in now. So you can view by country, by market. So if you just want stocks, people that are trading in stocks, you don't want anyone doing crypto, just go for stocks, for example. Someone want to search for people by how much they've made, 10%, at least 10%. What period? Last 12 months, last month, last quarter, and so forth. And then so you can set all of those, you can click go and search that way. So I want to do by return, for example, over 50%. Apply that, and we get returns for persons over 50%. You can see here in the criteria listed. And other than the return, some other considerations you want to take into account would be consistency. So you want to be following someone who can show consistent returns. No point following someone who's going to have a good score 1 month, good return 1 month, and a poor return the next. And you're also interested in their risk, the amount of risk they are taking to secure their returns. So if someone's showing returns of 200% in this current month, in March, for example, how much risk are they taking? What are they doing to get that? And you might not be comfortable with the amount of risk that they are taking. So the risk score is important, and you have to have a score between 1 and 6 for your trades to be copied. You cannot be a trader with a higher score than 6. That is set by eToro. But you can obviously search for persons with scores that are lower than 6, so you can set that to 1 to 3, for example. 1 being the lowest risk and 6 being the higher. The highest is actually 10. It goes from 1 to 10, but for copy trading, it's 1 to 6. But you can set that to what you'd like, something that matches your risk profile. Daily DD is drawdown, so that's set to less than 5%. And let's see some other details here. It must be a verified trader, number of trades, weekly drawdown. So drawdown is important. So if you want to control risk. Let's just click through to Ruby Enza and look at some of her details. She's been on the platform since 2016. She's got a fair smattering of green there. She's been all in the green this year. Returning 2.6 in January, 2.5 in February, and so far in March has returned 2.31%. It's not bad. Average risk score 5, and here we see the max drawdown shown for daily, weekly, and yearly views. Now, drawdown, what does that mean? Essentially, historically on the daily view, the portfolio value can fall by up to minus 4.64%. That doesn't mean that the portfolio is going to lose that money, because all those positions it's holding, in all probability, will be kept open, and the dip will, the portfolio will rise from the dip and could well end the day in profit. Could be up, but at some point during the day, there's a chance it could fall by as much as minus 4.64%. Same for weekly view, same for yearly view. So on the yearly view, the maximum that you could expect to lose by copying this portfolio is minus 10.33%. But as I say, those aren't realized losses because the holdings are kept open. So the trader would expect dips to be recovered from. So always look at the drawdown figure, because that's a very good way of working out where to set your stop loss. So if you set a stop loss of you don't want to lose more than 5%, let's say, of the £1,000 you put behind this particular trader, it means that there's a possibility on the year view that you could end up stopping copying of this person because they have a chance of falling by minus 10%, and on a weekly view they fall by minus 6. So if you're doing a stop loss at 95, so if it falls below 95% of the value, let's say if it falls below $950, because you're going to put 1,000 behind this particular person, then you stop copying them. So there's a very high chance that's going to happen, because on the weekly view they fall more than that, minus 6. So if you're going to copy this person, you want to put your stop loss perhaps around 10% or even a bit more, because it's minus 10.33. So on a year view, so maybe put it at minus 15%. So you don't want to lose any more than 85% of the value of the money you've invested in copying this trader. We have some more details here, like what they're trading in, so you get an idea of asset allocation. So the stocks they're doing the trades on is 93% is in stocks, 4% in crypto, 1.99% in ETFs. So there's a very high percentage of individual stocks that are being traded. And some additional stats. There's quite a lot of trading, 13 trades per week. Average hold time is 4.5 months. And been on the platform since 2016, and 61% of weeks are profitable. Average profit 18%, average loss 19%. And here we get a breakdown of the portfolio, see exactly what's being invested in. And we're looking at it by value in descending order from highest value. So the weighting is 5.24% weighting to Ethereum. There's quite a lot of holdings. The balance is 2.87%. It's held in cash, quite low. Bit of a tech bias here. Got some as an e-commerce play of sorts, Overstock, and Citigroup on the banking side. Another bank, JP Morgan, expected to do well as interest rates and yields start to pick up a little bit. Some big favourites like ARC Innovation, I think that ticker is, which is one of the most successful active ETFs. There aren't that many actively managed ETFs, but ARC has a number in its stable that have been massively popular over the recent period. They've taken a bit of a hit recently, but have recovered somewhat of late. Tritax Big Box, I like them. Yes, I think that was a stock tip app actually for Learn to Trade. I don't know if people are still in that. Invest in warehouses in the UK and across Europe. Bit of an e-commerce play in terms of the supply chain. Gold hasn't been doing very well, as you can see. That's reflected here in the profit and loss. So you get a good idea of the overview there, and you can look at it in a graphical way. 79% of the stocks. The allocation, look at the risk. I'll break down where all of those investments are, which stocks. So we just click on View All, you'll see it again as we've just seen in the list form. Click on those and it breaks out each one. And I always like to look at the charts to see how smooth the returns have been, so that's pretty good. That's the March dip, which kind of reflects the stock market. The recovery since then, but it's good to see it reflected here also. September wasn't so good, neither was October, but it's been all plain sailing since then. Bit of a little dip in January, recovered since. And I will start by looking at feeds. You should see, hopefully, pinned to the top information about how they trade, the investment style and strategy. If we go to portfolio, we can have a look at some persons that we're already copying, such as Nightingale, that's Anasada Rodriguez from Germany, who takes a capital preservation approach. It's a bit more cautious. And here's her portfolio. And I want to show you what you can do, the features here, and the settings cogwheel. So you can add funds, so increase the 1,000 we've already got copying. Remove funds to draw down some of your profits. Hopefully you've got some profits. Take some money out. You can pause. So if you think the strategy is going off the rails a little bit, you might want to just pause, but not close. Not stop. By closing, that means stop copying. What you can do here, you can adjust your copy stop loss. And then you write post view chart, customize. That's all available now. Now, Anna's portfolio, if you go to her feed, you can see her pinned post explains how she's approaching running this portfolio. So some very important rules. First, don't try and cherry pick her investments, although it is worth saying that a good way of getting ideas for trades and investments is to look at what others on the platform are investing in, successful traders are investing in, to get some ideas. But anyway, her first point is she's trying to encourage you to copy, so she's saying don't try and pick them yourselves and pick your own entry points and so forth. And she points out that she does use DCA, dollar cost averaging. So she's dropping money behind certain positions that she's keeping open. So on maybe a weekly or monthly basis, she's adding more money to those positions. So she's encouraging you to just start copying as opposed to trying to pick and choose yourself by looking at her portfolio. Her second point, second rule, is to put at least $700 behind her if you're going to start copying her. The minimum on copy trading is $500 and the maximum $2 million. The maximum shouldn't present any problems unless you've got 100 million in the bank that you want to put onto eToro copy trading. But yeah, so the minimum is 500, but if you go too close to the minimum, you're not putting enough behind a trader, and say that trader has 100 open positions, then you might end up in a position where you're not actually copying some of those trades because the value is too small, because there is a threshold which is set by eToro. So the minimum value of a copy trade is $2. So bear that in mind. So she's saying 700 is the minimum she would recommend if you want to make sure that 100% of trades are actually copied. That's an important consideration, generally speaking. And because she's taken a bit more of a long-term approach, she's suggesting you don't remove any funds for 6 months. So let the portfolio do its work. Don't get too impatient. So hang on for 6 months at least before you start taking any money back out of the portfolio. And that is because she's taking a long-term approach, as she's specified here in her investment strategy. 70% of holdings are in long-term stock investments on market disruptors. So she likes Jumia, for example, the African e-commerce play. Tesla, we all know about. Virgin Galactic, I don't think there is an S on it, but anyway, Virgin Galactic, which is trying to get into space. I believe they have a May test flight. They delayed the last one coming up, and Mr. Branson's meant to be in space this year, so we'll see how that goes. Zoom, video communications, we all know about, and so on. And 30% of the portfolio is in swing and position trading using price position strategy when clear opportunities appear. So that gives you an idea about how she runs the money. And she also has a nice touch, which is a Telegram channel she's given you the link to. So you can get onto that and ping questions over to her about the decision making and the thinking that is informing that decision making, why a position is in the red, is it going to be closed, blah blah. You can ask all that kind of stuff. So that's a nice little feature. So just to finish, as I say, we already have some people who are following here already. So if you're already following someone, you can click through, see what their positions are and so forth. But we want to start a new follow so you can see how that works. I'm going to find someone from Editor's Choice. 34%. That's not a massive return, but let's have a look anyway. Not a massive return, and the drawdown is quite big, so I wouldn't normally suggest following at this juncture, because I think it's quite a high drawdown for an annual return of 30%. But just to show you how you would open a copy, so let's adjust the amount to 1,000. Let's change use ratio. It's set to 60%. It's quite high, which means you can lose up to 40% of the value. So let's change that to 80, which means that we can lose up to 20% of the value. So that'll change to 800. If it drops below $800, then we stop copying, as you can see. and we're going to copy open trades. So all the trades that this trader has open now, at the point of copying, we will be copying, as well as all future trades are opened and closed. But if we untick that box, uncheck that box, it means that we aren't copying any open trades, but we will copy all future open trades. From this point onwards, we'll copy his open trades, and because we thought his drawdown was a bit high, maybe we could do that with this particular example. Okay, so we're happy with all of that. We're going to not copy the current open positions, but only the future ones, and we're going to have a stop loss of 800. So if it falls, the value falls below 800 of the 1000 that we're putting behind the Giovanni, then we'll stop copying. Click copy. Started copying. XGOVO. Excuse my pronunciation. And head over to portfolio. And there we are. You can see his entry in our portfolio. So that is how we find the best traders to copy on eToro, and how to use eToro's copy trading facility. So if you like what you see and you want to get started with eToro, click on the link in the description below, and it will take you through to eToro, where you can set up an account extremely quickly and start trading for 0% commission, and begin with the virtual account to find your way around the platform and to practice with trading and copy trading in particular, before you move on to using your real money by depositing some funds. So there we are, copy trading, and there's also the copy portfolios, which are worth considering also. I think the minimum to invest in each of these is $1,000, and they are built around various themes. So they're market copy portfolios, top trader copy portfolios. That's another way of finding the top traders, by using a copy portfolio, which will have a number of them held in the basket for you. And partner portfolios. These are portfolios set up by eToro's partners. So that's another approach to copying, which we'll look at in more detail in another webinar. And if you're very good at trading, you could also become a popular investor, a PI as they're known. And here's some of the requirements for being a PI. So minimum copiers to become on the first entry level, cadet level. You have to have at least one copier, have 2 months on the platform, etc. And the benefits: priority customer service, which is nice, eToro marketing, so you might feature in some press releases. You get eToro merchandise, fee-free withdrawals. So withdrawals from the platform are $5 for each withdrawal. It's worth mentioning there's no other fees for copy trading or for trading generally, other than that represented in the spread on the price between the bid and the ask price, or bid and the offer if you're in the UK, but I know many of you are not. Yeah, and you can get a subscription to the FT, Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal, and also Seeking Alpha. Yeah, so various other benefits you might want to apply to become a PI. So thank you for watching this webinar from Learn to Trade. Have a click on the link below to get started on eToro, and see you at the next Learn to Trade webinar.